So what was interesting about Abraham Maslow is that prior to the 1940s and 50s, when he actually started talking about an alternative model for the human condition, the definition of psychology was really based upon Freud and Skinner. And in some ways, it was a model based upon worst practices as opposed to best practices. And what I mean by that is generally the psychology and psychiatry community had actually studied the human condition based upon people who were coming to psychologists and psychiatrists that were troubled. They're in a place in their life where something was wrong. And so Freud's model is based upon that. What Maslow said in the 1940s is, what if we were to study 1,000 fulfilled people or self-actualized people? What would we learn from that? And that's how he came up with his hierarchy of needs, which is what he's most famous for. The idea that people have basic needs in life, and if they don't get those basic needs met, it's hard to move up this pyramid. The basic need being water, food, shelter, or actually water, food, sleep. And once you get about 70%, what Maslow says, once you get about 70% of that need met, you move up to the next need, which is safety. And then social belonging needs, esteem needs, and at the top of the pyramid is self-actualization. Now, the best definition I have for self-actualization is one that the U.S. Army came up with in their ad campaign for 12 years, which was be all you can be, which is very strange that the U.S. Army studied Maslow. They had a whole division within the U.S. Army that actually studied Maslow, which is sort of odd to believe. But what I started to do in reading this, I started reading Maslow partly for my own sake, but what became really clear to me is that Maslow was relevant in the workplace or relevant for any business. Because if you believe that humans have the ability to get to that self-actualized or fulfilled state, so do companies, because companies are just collections of individuals. So what we started to do is look at the fact that there's 5 levels here, and there's really 3 themes. And the 3 themes are survival, here at the base of the pyramid, succeed in the middle, levels 3 and 4, and then transform at the top of the pyramid. And so what we asked ourselves was, what are the survival needs for our employees? What are the succeed needs for our employees? What are the transformation needs for our employees? And similarly, what are those needs for our customers and for our investors also? Because those are the 3 largest constituencies of groups we have that we work with in our company. And so we created in 2001, at a time where we were about to go bankrupt, we evolved our business model using Maslow and created a whole new approach to how we thought of our relationships with these 3 key constituencies. Because generally speaking, what happens is most companies get very focused on just survival needs, and they don't focus on the higher needs of their key people or the key constituencies.